Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Sean Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles.
Wait, go ahead. I want
Sean, can your 4 beat the 4 of now in a four-way welterweight fight?
Yeah.
Well,
Earl
first of all,
Spence, Sean Porter,
Survivor
Keith
Series
Thurman,
tag team match style.
Terence Crawford versus Brian Norman, Rolly, Mario Barrios. Who else will get?
match him up. Who you want to take who?
Let's see. We're gonna start with Brian Norman. Who you got, Brian Norman?
Let's
He might be
give
the toughest one out of there.
PorterWay Podcast.
let's get Brian Norman, Terence Crawford.
Sean and them got that. All right.
Let's see Brian Norman, Terence Crawford. We heard about the sparring. Let's see the real fight.
Okay.
That's in bracket
All
1.
right. Mario Barrios. He's probably one of the weakest ones. I'll give him Sean Porter.
No, don't
He
give
already
him Sean
fought
Porter.
Keith.
Sean Porter's probably the
Now hold up.
Kell Brook.
Because you kind of.
Kell Brook?
No. You leaving out Danny Garcia.
Who was champions at the time.
You leaving out Kell Brook.
Oh yeah, we gotta stick with the 4, but we gotta stick.
Which 4 though? You doing the 4 man?
Keith, Errol, you, and Terrence.
You want me to take you out? I'll take your ass out.
You can't take me out.
All right. So Mario Barrios for Sean Porter.
I don't want Mario.
Okay.
Which one did you want?
I'll get Earl Spence.
Out of who?
Earl Spence.
Crawford gets Norman, so you got to pick one of the other three.
All right. So Earl Spence, Brian Norman, Mario Barrios.
That's
Would
fine.
you like Lewis Crocker
Earl
or
Spence
Patty
is not-
Donovan, who will be fighting for the vacant?
Yeah. Which one you want?
Which one?
Or do you want Rolly?
Rolly or who?
Rolly. You and Rolly.
Me and Rolly will be with me and Rolly.
That'd be
We're gonna put that.
ugly
That's the question of the
fight.
week. We'll answer that.
That's an ugly fight.
Be easy, big dog. You seen me at work, okay? I
an
knew I could
exciting
handle it.
Yeah, it depends on what type of Sean want to fight. You dictate that fight.
And then who else?
The winner.
Lewis Crocker, like I said. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
For the
Crocker.
WBA, you're probably starting to look at a Giasov.
I'd even take Giasov. I think. So let's just rewind it back.
So Keith Thurman got to knock
Sean
out
Porter against
Rolly?
all of those guys. I beat all of those guys. I think everybody. Errol beats all of those guys.
Y'all clean them up?
We cleaning them all up. I'm cleaning
Come
you
on,
up
Brian.
too, Brian.
Who's the toughest challenge out of everyone?
Brian.
Maybe Brian.
Who's easy?
Giasov,
Who's easiest? Don't do that. I'm wild for accent.
Giasov is not, I'm talking about puzzles. All of us were puzzles. Terrence is a puzzle. I was a puzzle. Keith was a puzzle. Errol wasn't really a puzzle. He just...
Earl's a fucking box. He can fight.
Yeah.
Threw a lot of punches, had heavy
old
hands,
school. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
good size at the welterweight,
I hate
good
this.
jab, good fundamentals.
I hate to disrespect Earl Spence against right now. I went somewhere, Sean know I was here. I got on my nerves. They trying to tell Earl's not a Hall of Famer. Fuck out of here.
It's debatable. I don't know.
It is debatable.
Then you're not a Hall of Famer.
That's true. I mean, it's
That's
close. It's
literally,
close.
you're below
It's
him.
borderline.
When it
Yeah.
comes to level, that means Keith not a Hall of Famer.
I'm in 2, so Hall of Fame.
But I'm just saying, then Keith Thurman not a Hall of Famer.
3 if you want to consider that.
Now you start knocking all those guys down.
It gets tough. I don't think those guys are necessarily first ballot. I think they get in at some point.
Okay.
But I think it's hard to say because the Paz man just got in, and 20 years ago, I don't think Paz would have been quite Hall of Fame material. I mean, that's why he's been on the ballot for over a decade, and now he gets in.
Mm-hmm.
The reality of the situation is, as time goes on, and everybody gets in, eventually guys start getting voted in who weren't voted in 10 years ago. They've been on the ballot a long time, and they did have a really good career. And it's like, all right, well, so that's the reality. I think.
I kind of feel like that. Like it matters. If you're first ballot Hall of Famer, you go in as a first ballot. I think that really does matter, you know, opposed to, you've been overlooked for 10, 15 years. Unless you're somebody like Vinny Paz, it's like, come on, what are we doing here? When are we gonna really do this? You know what I mean?
Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank, I think they should get in
Yeah,
at some point.
yeah,
They've been waiting. Yeah.
Like with Earl Spence, I give him in because just the victories, man. Sean, Danny, Kell Brook. It was just, he had a list.
Ugas coming off a Pacquiao win, which aged kind of well because now Pacquiao 4 years later did all right. So
Mikey Garcia, he had 3 belts at one time?
4? Earl, you mean? Yeah. WBA, WBC, IBF.
So I just, the run he was on, obviously Terence Crawford's the last one.
I hear you. I see where you're going.
Yeah,
I see where you're going.
Yeah, you hard to take that from.
Yeah, whatever. What else? What else? Because y'all had a show before we started the show. What else?
What else are we talking about?
Yeah, all of a
What was
sudden.
it? We had a few hot things.
I mean, yeah.
The hotness just comes out of me and then.
Yeah, we just be rolling along.
Yeah.
I mean, shout
What would
to,
you like to hear?
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. Got a lot going on, a lot coming up. I'll hit this for you guys real quick. Just remind you that we do have a membership now. Go ahead, scroll down. If you're on your iPhone, you got to go to a computer, get on that YouTube, and become a member of the PorterWay Podcast. We got some good stuff coming up. Was just in LA, just got back, and was able to do like a little 15-20 minutes with James Toney. You know, so
awesome.
Stuff like that, you know, random interviews with some of the best, the greatest, some of the legends and stuff like that. It's just gonna be sporadically popping up. I'll be with Terence this weekend. Check him out.
Get an invite.
Yeah, check him out. And
it's crazy.
That's an offline conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to your house a couple weeks ago to play cards? Your Terence Crawford standing seems pretty solid.
Don't we go to each other's house? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm supposed to take you everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's what everybody think I'm supposed to do with you.
Yeah, we're Sean at.
You guys can come to my house, but you don't play video games.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff is all gonna be just popping up on the membership. You guys saw the interview that I did with Manny, stuff like that. So the interview we did with Manny, we just felt like it was too hot to hold in there, and especially you guys haven't joined yet. So once you guys join, a lot of this stuff is not gonna ever become public. You got to go there to see it. So me and Ant got some stuff we want to put together and put it on the membership as well. So go ahead, go to our YouTube membership and join. One more thing, the BoxFan Expo. Ant give me a little bit of heat. So I was like, all right, ain't gonna be there, but we'll see.
I might be there.
Yeah.
I won't be there the night before.
So Zatel is definitely gonna be around. But the BoxFan
Carson
Expo.
pulling up?
I don't know. I haven't
Probably
talked to him.
not.
Probably not.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Nah.
Maybe. I didn't say. I said probably. Not for sure.
10%.
Another one for y'all. We're gonna do a little poll.
Yeah.
Y'all want to see Carson A. Merck representing the PorterWay Podcast at our booth at the BoxFan Expo. It happens, if I'm not mistaken, September 13th.
Yeah.
It's all day before the fights. Y'all know how I get down, especially on fight day. I will be in there. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in there, but more than likely I'll be in there as the thing opens up because I got a long day ahead of me on September 13th. But we're gonna put the link in there. Click on the link, get your tickets, and some of that goes back to the PorterWay Podcast. So make sure you click on the link that we got and not nobody else's link. Yeah. When you telling other people about it, just copy paste our link and send that out to everybody. Y'all come on, hang out with us, and it's gonna be a really good time. Ant may or may not be there. Sean Zatel will be there, showing all the love to the PorterWay Podcast.
Most likely I'll be there. I'll be there. We ain't going on vacation until another couple of weeks. And shout out to our boy Erron Peterson.
I don't know him.
JYD.
Oh, yeah, it's my guy.
Yeah, so he sent us shirts.
Yeah.
I had y'all shirts in my hand. Somehow when I got out the car just now, they wasn't in my hand.
Yeah, I know how that
CTE.
Go. I don't know. How that go.
I don't know. Shout out to my man. He fight this weekend, August 9th, and we the peace. We fight for the peace in the Sheet Metal Union Hall in PA. So shout out to our guy.
Did he hit you up?
Yeah, he hit me up. He sent me the shirts like a month ago.
But did he tell you that?
No, I'm just shouting my man out.
That's my guy though. Like, I'm like, now I'm wondering why you ain't hit me up. And
No,
me.
he ain't hit me up to hit it.
Okay, you just showing love.
Yeah,
all right,
so he fighting.
Take it personal. You know me.
Yeah.
I hope he does go to the BoxFan Expo. He got me a Ryan Garcia interview at it 2 years ago.
I did.
Really?
I was like, damn, man, you got it like that?
Oh, you talking? Oh yeah.
He was like, who are you trying to get? I was like, Ryan. He was like,
my thing is just go talk to him.
what do you?
Just go talk to people. Fuck it. What they gonna say?
Those are different days.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I can go talk to him no more.
Yeah.
You can interview.
Shout out to JYD. Follow him on social media.
Yeah.
My guy got stuff popping up on Instagram every single day. It's hilarious. It's informative. I mean, he got a little bit of everything. So go ahead and check him out and make sure you support him August 9th. If you're in the Philly area, he out there fighting in Philly. He a hometown fighter. You ain't going nowhere.
Fight like
ain't going nowhere with your punk ass. Go follow my guy. He fighting at the Sheet Metal Union Hall August 9th right there in Philly. So if you're in Philly, man,
is that a warehouse?
JYD. He nice.
Oh, okay.
He get down with his.
And
He's
Charles,
nice.
With the terrible joint t-shirts. He sent one for all three of us. I got him he's in my car in the house. I don't know. But shout out to my man. He always look out for us.
I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, you know what I mean? Like, is this dude championship material?
We will see.
That's what everybody, you know.
I think that's your eye, right?
Huh?
Always trying to see it.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, he's been working with Breadman for a little while now.
Okay.
So
That's his coach, I think.
I think he in good hands.
Okay.
Think he in good hands.
Around
Can I put my
Boots?
mark on him?
Yeah, for someone to watch out for. Sure. Isn't his KO percentage still right at 100?
Supposed to be.
Right around
Supposed
100%?
to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he a student of this thing. So
Every Philly fighter is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know August 10th if he is. Let y'all know August 10th.
That's it.
If he's championship material.
Sean, has your KO percentage ever been 100%?
Yes.
Early in your career, you had like knockouts?
Go to my box rec, y'all. Go look at my highlight knockouts. I'm looking for my amateur highlight knockout reel because I'm the only one that had an amateur highlight reel of true knockouts. Now no,
You was clipping them?
now no RSCs.
You was clipping them, Sean?
Now no RSCs.
You was clipping them?
I was clipping them.
Okay. What's your best highlight of knockout you remember like, damn?
Hey.
You was like, damn.
Boo Boo was telling the story. Shout out to my sons. Every time I say Boo Boo's name, they just laugh. So y'all know what that's about. But Boo Boo was telling the story, right? We at the Junior Olympic Nationals. We're 16 years old. And
I heard something on that.
he lost the fight that he wasn't supposed to lose. I had a first round knockout. So I go to his ring to see who I'm fighting the next day. And I watch his fight. And I'm like, yo, this dude got my kryptonite.
Boo
Boo. I'm like, yo, this dude got my kryptonite. The other good dude is good too, but the dude not winning the fight. So I know who I'm gonna fight next. I'm like, damn, like, I don't want this thing to end. Like I'm supposed to win this year. And the other dude gets his hand raised. And I said, well, I'm sorry for you, big dog, but you know, I got it now. I feel like I got an easier night on my hands. And sure enough, I clipped this dude in the third round. Now, Boo Boo told it from his perspective, and he felt like he should have won the fight, but he didn't win, and he felt like, you know, I can't argue that I didn't win this fight. He said, but I went ringside and watched the fight the next day. He said, but I had already seen Sean knocking guys out, and I knew about Sean. He said, when he clipped that dude, and he went off the ropes like this, he was like, I felt like, woo!
Could have been me. Could have been me.
Yeah. So shout out to my guy Boo Boo. The long
crazy.
from that is he ended up staying in Texas, right? I clipped everybody through the championships. So by right, he was the only one able to compete in an international tournament after the training camp. So they keep 2 Americans, and then they bring in England, they bring in Ireland and Mexico and Scotland, and they keep 2 Americans. And by right, Boo Boo was the only American that was allowed to fight in my weight class because he was the only one that didn't get clipped.
Didn't get knocked out, right?
and end up fighting me, and who won?
Andrade.
Yeah, I said that's why. the whole fight, I was like, I knew this was gonna happen, you know. So shout out to Boo Boo. Get your ass back in the ring, big dog.
Yes,
It's been a couple
sir.
years. All that. Let's get to DAZN.
DAZN,
Yeah.
The zone.
Man.
I never thought
Shout out to Josh Edwards on the undercard.
Yeah,
Okay.
Josh. Yeah.
Who we went down to Colorado to interview. Looks like he has a very promising future at heavyweight.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah. Yep. And then I want to hand clap for JoJo Diaz and
Regis.
and Regis
Jesus. Man, I came to watch Oscar and Kenny because I had somewhere to go. So I'm like, all right, this might be a short night. Regis, hopefully you can handle your business. And then I see Regis get hurt. I'm like, oh, we in for a long night. But shout out to those guys. I never thought in my lifetime I would see JoJo Diaz at 147.
That's a welterweight.
I don't know about you guys, but I never thought I would see that.
Yeah.
And it's what I've been saying for a minute, y'all. Boxing is good. When you put up the same level against the same level, that joint is bound to be fire. That was a fire fight last night. That was better than the main event.
Yeah.
And then the main event, it wasn't
A bad fight.
a bad fight, but
This set the tone.
But this is what we expected in the main event.
Yeah.
Not that the main event was a bad fight, because it wasn't. It was a good fight, but it wasn't a fight of the year type fight like this kind of was. And this was obviously a fight between two guys past their best. But what was beautiful about the fight was they showed why they were two former champions. Emphasis on the word champions, you know. Because I said that last night on Twitter and people are like, oh, you're being so negative. And I'm like, emphasis on the word champions when I call them faded former champions. They showed why at one point they were both world champion in this fight.
Right.
Yeah, and Prograis, a lot of people were mad at the 98-92 card, but I thought his jab was really good and consistent in this fight. And I got to give credit to Devin Haney, because since Haney dominated Prograis, a lot of people have really downplayed Prograis like he's nothing, and that was a nothing win, and he's a little old, super lightweight. But Prograis has shown us repeatedly, when you put him in against a Jose Zepeda, when you put him in against a JoJo Diaz, when he gets to be the guy who can move on his back foot a little bit, he's the quick guy. He's the guy with a good jab. It's only when he's faced with a fighter like Haney who exceeds him in those areas that he looks so limited, you know? So give credit for that. And then, his punch resistance is gone, but he won the fight.
Yeah.
He won the fight.
For the most part, he to me, Sean, I know a lot of people was upset with the cards.
So, I didn't watch the decision. He had his hand raised last.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you think he did?
I thought JoJo Diaz won that fight.
I thought Sean, besides 10% of the fight, Regis dominated the rounds. Then he get clipped.
Yeah, it hurt.
It was hard. It was so
that's
it's hard to score. Yeah.
Yeah, if one guy's dominating 2 out of 3 minutes, but he's getting hurt when he actually gets touched, it's hard.
I had one eye on it and one eye on spades. I got to provide my explanations and my excuses. So, you felt like Regis handled. This is what we were just talking about. I said the number one basis of criteria for judging the fight should be who's in control. That's what I think. And you felt like Regis was in control.
Besides the moments.
Yeah, just moments.
I think it was 4 moments.
Yeah, because Diaz's moments were big. Yeah. Every time he'd connect with a real good shot, he basically hurt Regis, and his punch resistance was a lot better than Regis's. But at the end of the day, he got out punched.
Regis outlanded him and out threw him and outlanded him.
Outworked him.
Yeah.
And I the whole time watching, I'm just like, damn, I don't want Regis never nobody with power.
Yeah.
Because I could see, the punch resistance is really that bad. I'm like, damn. Well, at this
against
point,
a blown up super featherweight.
Well, see, but here's the thing. His flaw is,
I mean, his real weight. I think if JoJo optimally would be at 130.
Okay.
Not even 35.
Not even 35.
I mean,
JoJo
when you get older,
JoJo little.
Yeah,
Regis' problem, he just stands there after he punches, and his hands are just literally at his waist.
He don't move.
I mean, they're literally at his waist.
He had a moment.
It's unreal how bad.
He had a moment where he was like, duck. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was just one. That was in the 10th.
It was last night.
And he has, but we knew he had that. It's kind of faded. You know what I mean? So he's trying to do things that now he systematically should not try to do, because the older you get, the reflexes slow down, the speed slows down, the quickness, and all those sorts of things slow down. And you actually are now getting hit with punches that you probably didn't even realize you're making people miss when you 18, 19 years old. You know what I mean? But again, for these guys, you put 2 guys in the ring on the same level and you just get a magnificent fight, you know? So this is what boxing needs more of. And you got to start talking about these fights before they actually happen, because people are going to overlook this fight, not realizing that, this is the possible outcome, and they only waiting on the main event, and they're like, whoa.
Got my ass.
Them exceeding expectations kind of even made the fight better.
Yeah.
You didn't have any expectations. All right, it's Regis and JoJo's. Yeah. But to Sean's point, there was an art in boxing to matchmaking past their prime champions. They used to. This used to be pretty common. You get 2 guys past their best, but they still putting on a hell of a show.
Why we can't bring that back, Sean?
That's what Sean's trying to do. I commend him for it.
Okay.
He's trying to,
because I feel like
I didn't know that was what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah.
When the guys gave you all their blood and sweat and tears for years, at least give them.
Yeah.
Get those guys 3 or 4
paydays.
Yeah. Man, because they gave you everything. So it's just, I feel like they deserve that instead of just serving them
to young guys
yeah.
to be feasted upon.
Get your name popping.
Yeah.
Well, then you get rid of his thing, which is gatekeepers, and that's where you know what I mean. Like,
I think
I didn't have that
there's a
conversation.
happy middle ground. You've done 1 or 2 jobs for the young kids. Let's get this guy
that's crazy.
a fight against an old guy now.
He said you do 1 or 2, and you get in there with the youngest, and then we gonna feed you back. We gonna let you get back in the
on the way
guy
out.
pool.
So we'll give you 3
Your
or
ass
4.
keep fighting.
We'll give you 3 or 4, and then you gonna serve you up on the way out. Is that what you said?
A little mix and match. Wait, you beat the old guy, then you fight a young guy. Then when the young guy beats the shit out of you, then we match you with an old guy again. And if you could get past him, you beat him to a young guy again.
God damn, Sean. No,
he got it scientifically down. Chicago.
That's how they talk in Chicago.
Chicago. I know Chicago was deflated.
This is Sean Porter's fault.
How? Oh, it's sparring, yeah.
You was the lead sparring
You didn't
partner.
simulate Duarte
You
well
the
enough.
lead sparring partner.
It's not true.
I don't care. They brought you up.
I was doing my best not to be there.
Did you hear him bring you up?
I texted him about it.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
He
Son.
said it with love in his heart. Concern.
Yeah.
You know? Them young bulls are strong.
Oscar is a true example of a Mexican.
It's just there's so many ways you could go with this one.
Okay.
Let's go with what we know. We know that fighting at home is a hard thing to do.
Yes.
Question presented to me, well, everybody else does it. The NBA does it. The NFL does it. Soccer, list goes on. MLB, why can't boxers do it? Mm-hmm. Well, the difference is they get 7, 8, 10 times to play at home. We get 1, 2, you know what I mean? For this to be his first fight at home in Chicago against this kind of guy, no good.
Also, if I may, so to your point about playing home, a lot of those athletes aren't actually from the city that they are playing in 80 times a day. Tom Brady, last year he played for the Bucks. He went up to San Francisco or Santa Clara to play the Niners, had the worst game of his career. You could tell that playing at home had something to do with it. Like he looked like a little kid taking pictures of the Niners locker room, taking pictures with Joe Montana on the sideline. He had all his family there. So even someone like Brady, who's known for his discipline, like I've seen it affect him. So
you a beast. Who we need to talk to about you? Because you a beast.
No, it's just I watched a lot of those Niner games.
We gotta talk to somebody, man. You can't just be in front of your computer doing shots and tell no more, man. This shit's got to stop.
The best in the business.
The PorterWay Podcast is not enough.
I've been saying this for like 10 years. Best in the business.
Thank you.
It's not even close.
I'm on the best podcast in boxing. So.
Best in the business.
Yeah.
Man, beast. But yeah, to that point, I just think that when the fight started, you said it took him a couple rounds to settle in. It truly did take him a couple rounds to settle in. And it's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out just why, why the conversations that we had and, the game plans that even, that he and I spoke about. Not that I said, hey, do this, do that. But it was just, what's the plan? What are you thinking? What do you expect? And then I give my input. I think he's going to do this and so on and so forth. And it was like, you got to come out that first round sharp, firing off, and really establish this is what this night is gonna be. And he didn't do that, and I just think it ended up catching up to him,
And then it's one of those things like a Mexican fighter, especially with that heart, it takes so much to break him. You got to go above and beyond. So I see Sean say, "Get out the gates. Let's go, get to work." But it was just like getting hit. He'll have a moment, and Kenny was landing some nice shit from what I was seeing. But Oscar wasn't. He ain't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you gonna have to kill me tonight, and that's fighting a tough, hardcore, talented Mexican, and just
you gotta.
What was the body work?
He hurt him in the ninth with a right hook to the body.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
talented, hardworking, Mexican fighter. And you're taking him into a territory, right? That's hostile.
And give it to me. Come on.
Told him,
let's go.
You done told him.
I'm hyped up.
It's like you got to go out there and kill this guy.
Whyte has kept those a lot of Mexicans in Chicago.
I know. But and I know personally because I fought against a lot of Mexicans. I fought against was from Chicago. But my point is like, while it looks like this is a recipe for success for Kenny. It was like not really,
Yeah.
So. And then, the other side of that is Oscar coming in and being him. That's the thing when it comes to beating Mexican fighters. I know it's gonna be a whole lot of talk about Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez that we're gonna talk about. Which one of them can prevent the other guy from being themselves? Mm-hmm. On fight night, Kenny didn't stop Oscar Duarte from being Oscar Duarte.
Mm.
He hit him with some really good shot in the 9th round. He switched southpaw, Kenny did, and hurt him. Withering, right hook to the body. Mora, who was really good, excellent in this fight throughout his commentary, was telling Kenny, basically, hey, I'm Mexican. This is what you got to do, bro. Go to the body. You're not going to hurt him up top and punch in between his shots. Yeah. You can't just get off first and hurt him that way to the head. You got to find him to the body, in between. Yeah. Kenny did that in spots, but not enough. He couldn't. Not enough. To Sean's point, he couldn't take the play away. He would have his moments. He would counter at times. His jab was effective, but he couldn't stop Duarte from being Duarte.
The two things that prevented Kenny Sims Jr. from winning this fight, he was in between styles, undecisive. He didn't really have an identity. So we'll go with not having an identity and being inconsistent. You know, when you don't have an identity, you don't know what to be consistent in, you know? And I truly do think that coming to the ring, he knew how to be Oscar Duarte. He just did not do everything that was needed, and he wasn't consistent enough in the good things that he was doing. Won a number of rounds, did some really good stuff, had some flashes of greatness. Now, when I do an interview with him, I do an interview with a Kenneth Sims that I know is great. He showed the flashes of his greatness, but that consistency, that flashes ain't enough.
He has to keep going. Did you? That was something you spoke to him about when you, like, this is a different level of boxing, Sean. You've been there. You got to. Their heart is different. Yeah. The level is different. The got to keep going. You can't just fight in spurts. Yeah. Okay. Fight. 10 seconds off.
Yeah. And we didn't talk, but I was like, in my head, I'm talking to you. I didn't want to keep calling.
Because I called Sean in the
during the fight.
Well, because hey, we call it down the middle. I after the fight, when the fight wrapped up after 12, I said 115, 113 Duarte. But we love Kenny Sims. We could
a draw.
So I'm calling Sean in the 10th, and I go, it's time for Kenny to rip. It's time to rip. It's time to rip him. And
I said to you,
not enough energy.
Can he pull up that energy and match the level of Oscar Duarte? And again, he's Mexican, so not only do you have to match it, you got to succeed it. You know what I mean? Overseed it, right? So then we get off the phone, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, no, I said he ain't got it, Sean. I'm
like, rip. And Sean's like, not enough energy.
Yeah, and he didn't have enough energy.
So I totally agree, Sean, about being caught between game plans, but there's something I want to add to it. Like, because I agree, because early I'm watching, and he's effective with the jab, and I'm like, hey, man, for the first couple rounds, forget about the catch and shoot left hook, forget about the body work. Jab, pull, counter, right hand. Forget the close range stuff until you take a little something out of this guy. Then when you have no choice, as the fight gets to the heat of the fight and you have to stay in the pocket more, that's when you catch and shoot and get creative in the pocket and but not too early. But to that point, remember Jim Lampley called Barboza a worker bee, right? And that's Kenny Sims. He's not a Sean Porter athlete. He's not a crazy... he's not a big, strong welterweight like Errol Spence with heavy hands. He's not a great D1 level athlete like Sean. He's not a great puncher. He's a worker bee. He has to make up for being a little physically limited compared to the more talented fighters with his mind and with his character. So part of me wonders, even though we're saying he was in between game plans a little bit, did he ultimately just fight as good as he can? Because he's not the kind of super fast hands, super fast feet fighter that can just turn you for 12 rounds off the jab. And he's not a big puncher, so he can only get but so zealous in the pocket. Maybe he basically fought as good as he could. Maybe he could have done more. I think he could have done a little bit more. I think so too. Yeah. But that thought accompanies that thought.
There was some lazy fighting at points, and then there was some lethargic fighting at points too, where it was just like, I'm just not, going, and I just felt like he wasn't turned on enough. And again, you get Oscar Duarte knowing I'm coming in hostile territory, and I'm the B-side, and I gotta represent and put on, and the kid says he wants to be the face of boxing now, And all of these things, I'm like, yo, it was a lot for him for Kenneth to defeat on fight night. You know, you essentially fighting against your city, even though your city's with you fighting against your city.
The pressure
because you just have to turn off so much, and this pressure of, you know, everybody came to see me, and if I win, I'm getting the key to the city. And I mean, there's just so many things that you go through when you have a hometown fight. You know, he was up against a lot. No excuses. He ain't gonna get another shot at it. I know he said
that's what hurt me for him when he was like, I want to run that back, and it's like the time those last couple rounds was the time to let it all hang out. That was the opportunity.
Yeah,
Kenny, if I ruled the world, I'd get you a rematch because I love you.
Yeah,
but it don't work that way.
Yeah,
you know?
But I don't think he hurt himself enough where we don't want to see Kenny. No, we've like, Kenny, let's go. Let's make another push. Maybe it's not Oscar trained, but let's make another push at a title.
Honestly, if I was Kenny, this is how I operated. I would see my fight and see all of those spurts and those great moments that I had, and I literally would just say, I got to do that. That's what I got to do over and over. Got to do it more. Those spurts that we saw, that's the kind of stuff that would make us fans of yours, make people fans of yours, and want to see you every time you go out there. But the in-between is so far in between that just like, you know, he's just another guy that could be there, but is not there, you know?
Credit to Duarte, man. He may not have a lot of special effects, but like Pitbull Cruz,
great at what he does.
Tight guard, chin tucked, not as easy.
Bam.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like when you get punched by a Mexican. Bam.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah. There's different. There's bomb. There's wop wop wop. There's a few. Yeah.
My kid Mexican.
There's bink. They're all different too.
Oh yeah, bink.
Yeah.
What's a black person? Bow.
When they start ripping on the inside, wop 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 wop.
Oh, that sound black. What's a white one?
Ooh. I gotta think.
So at the top of the list,
I gotta watch Bevo.
At the top of the list is Gary Russell, Gary Antoine. We were just talking about him last week, and you know, he's at the top of the list again. And then there's an interim champion. Does Oscar jump over this interim champion? Rigucini.
This 147. I mean 140.
140. Yeah.
Ryoguchi. Let me see.
No. Alessandro Rigucini.
Are you talking about to fight Gary Russell?
Yeah, I'm talking about Oscar.
No, Andy Hiroka is the WBA.
Oh, well then this is wrong on.
Yeah, you got to go box right.
Yeah.
They're more writer.
And I think Hiroka is actually going to get his title shot against Gary Antoine.
He's Japanese?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he knocked out Jen Sasaki, the dude Norman just fought.
Mm-hmm. Why are we not talking about Oscar versus Tio? Tio done 140?
Well, just saying that, you know, he's in line at the WBA. You know, everybody's of course barking for
Oscar and Pitbull.
Dang, that's 140. Dang. I got Oscar.
Yeah, he's bigger than him.
Clocking Pitbull.
Oscar and Ryo?
That's a good fight.
That's a good boxing match.
But Ryo needs a comeback fight.
Yeah,
don't get right back in there. So
you said, why are we not talking about Oscar and Teo?
Yeah, like why?
Yeah, that's a nice fight.
I want Teo and unifications.
What's Teo?
Teo and Matias.
I feel Teo's just on that Devin Haney just calling everybody out. Actually, Bill. Shout out to Bill. It's Bill, not Devin.
WBO. That's Teo. Teo's got the WBO.
Yeah.
What about Matias pulling up on everybody?
Matias got to fight Dalton
What you mean
Smith
pulling
next.
up?
He's just pulling up on people.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he did. Did he slap Teo?
Wow, Santiago's Teo's mandatory. That dude lost to Devin Haney years ago.
See, that's why he's so smart. You see, that's what he does.
Santiago, how does Santiago WBO? What's going on?
Am I tripping that Matias pull up on Teo?
He did, and
Gary?
apparently slapped him or something.
He pulled up on somebody else too, right?
Gary Antoine,
Hitchens.
I think it was Hitchens. Yeah. Hitchens is funny. It's like, you think you knocked me out?
Yeah.
How? Really? I just liked how matter of fact he was. Like, really? Tell me how?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's confident.
I like it. I like it.
What were you about to say?
No, nothing. Just let's see some unifications at 40.
Let's get it going at 40. There's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Sean, why we just fucking like? Remember 135 was so hot. They fucked us. Y'all fucked us. And we're camera. They fucked us. They fucked us, Sean. And Sean's used to it now.
Yeah.
Sean,
I'm not used to this language. I'm used to it, but I'm not.
But that's crazy,
That's a
Sean.
lot right there, big
No,
dog.
so you're saying I'm used to
so
it.
My man just said it 6 times in a
It
row.
was so much at
And he was
130.
correct every time he said it.
It was so much at 135,
At
Sean.
this point, might as well get up and go to the camera. You
Think about it.
see what I'm doing, Apple? You see what I'm doing, Apple?
But think, it was what? Haney, Tank, Loma, Shakur.
T.O.
We ain't get nothing. We got nothing.
Dang, we didn't get one?
Was Ryan there?
Hey, we ain't
We
get
got
one.
Ryan and
Got Ryan
Haney, Tank.
depleted.
Yeah, what's up with boxing, man?
It's a deeper thing about society, I would say. But this ain't the time or the place, I would assume.
Go to Sean's, I'll tell him.
You know?
Hey, real quick, I wanted to touch on a couple of things with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. But
Yes, sir.
before we get to them, want to go back real quick. Moses Itauma is fighting Dillian Whyte in about 2 weeks now.
Yes. 16th.
This kid's 20 years old.
This is the type of fights he like. Go get up in there and fight the young kid.
This kid, Itauma, right? I'm saying it right.
Yep.
Itauma's 20 years old,
Uh-huh.
and like you said last night, he's a couple of months beyond
Tyson already.
Tyson.
When he knocked out Burbick.
Yeah, but you brought up a really interesting point in that this kid being 20, and it seems as if to me and you both that His Excellency is trying to rush this kid to get a title at 20 years old, but the only guy he can get in the ring with is Alexander Usyk. He's,
It's not Trevor Burbick. Was the
when you said that, I was like, yo, you're right.
kind of
Yeah, I was like, you're right. Like, times have changed. This kid gets past Dillian Whyte.
yeah.
Respect to Dillian Whyte, and I'm known for retiring fighters. I retired Dillian Whyte in my mind about 3 years ago.
Chill out, man.
But respectfully, the dude probably should have been retired closer to 5 years ago. Right?
But he's seeing Derek Chisora and he's like, well, why would I leave then?
Right.
Derek Chisora's making it okay for everyone to keep
And
fighting.
Derek should have been retired about that same amount of time ago.
Yeah.
Respectfully to both those guys. And I hate every time I run into Derek because I feel like he didn't
he's
see
scary.
something that I did that I didn't say on the podcast. And he's scary.
he's scary.
Like legitimately scary. Like, how do you know he's scary? You been around him before?
I met him once. I asked for an interview. He's like, no, I'm good, mate. And I was like, okay. And he's like, respect though, bro. What's your name? And that motherfucker was scary.
Hey, should have slapped his hand down.
Like, bro, you know you in America? I got the big ass Z. You don't turn me down for
I'm Big Z.
But even while saying respect, it's just something about you, big dog. Like every time I see him, I'll be like
Some people carry themselves with that
messing with my
fear.
picture. Like, damn, he saw me. What's up, big dog? Never an issue. But I'm afraid to say these kinds of things because I'm afraid that they'll get back to
I ain't gonna lie. I'm afraid of the.
There's certain guys.
Who you afraid of, Ant? I want to know who answers.
Me?
No, I'm not afraid of you. What's his name?
Showtime?
No, Wilder.
Wilder's nice though.
I don't care. I'm not gonna try it.
No.
I'm not gonna knock my fucking head off. I'm scared of him.
Chisora is more likely to have a problem with. Wilder's a nice guy.
I'm scared of Wilder.
But all that being said, we're looking at this fight against Itauma, and it's basically that fight to position him. You knock off this guy who
A name.
was there, and it's like the next step is only the tippy top.
If he gets past him, who would y'all not the tippy top, but who would you throw him in there with?
I guess no.
Yeah, I'm like, does that get you a Usyk fight?
Beating Whyte. I mean, technically, they could do it. He is
They would probably
the number
do it.
one ranked WBO challenger. Parker is ahead of him. Parker's the interim WBO champion.
Right.
What if you fight my man that just lost Usyk? Dubois.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight. I think Itauma, the big problem for Whyte in this fight is going to be speed, just to make it simple. But two things for Moses Itauma, who I said a couple months ago here on the show, the hype is real. The hype is deserved. And I definitely stand by that. But young fighters have to be careful with their hubris. It's a very thin line. You have to be extremely confident to believe you can knock out every other man on the planet that's your size. And yet at the same time, not overconfident, not to be filled with too much hubris before you've proven yourself. And so Itauma, we have to worry about that with him. And the same problem that Jared Anderson had, leaving his chin up. Mm-hmm. So he leaves his chin up. And that is a chance for Dillian Whyte. If he still, even as slow as he is compared to Itauma, if he can let go of his huge left hook, because Dillian Whyte got a hell of a left hook, if he can punch with Itauma and maybe catch him with his chin up, then maybe he gives, the young phenom a scary moment. Maybe a moment he'll need, a blessing in disguise. Like, hey, as talented as you are, slow down, tuck that chin a little bit. And, but barring
difference with Itauma and Jared Anderson, Itauma does have the ability to change his level. His muscle memory doesn't take him straight back every time. It doesn't take him straight up every time. What you're saying is as he's letting go, sometimes he's exposed. And when you let that go, if somebody's good enough, they slip and they coming back. That is something that we're gonna get from Dillian Whyte on Fight Night, is the big overhands and the big hooks. He's a classic heavyweight fighter. I just don't want him taking those heavyweight shots anymore. That's my thing with the kid, and I hate to see that from someone like Dillian Whyte. You just get to a point where if you're not here, these guys coming up, it's like the difference between me and Dillian Whyte is I'm sparring with these guys with hair gears on, and I'm taking my time. Even with when I first started sparring with Kenneth Sims, I was in for 2 rounds, out for a round or 2, and back in. You know what I mean? I'm taking care of myself, and I'm making sure that I'm good. Now, you're taking a heavyweight punch in a 10-ounce glove on the major stage, and just I don't like it. So I think this is a fight that this kid gets past. I'm not sure if it's more a question for you, both of you guys. Is it more a test, or is it more just the confirmation that he's on, this level,
A little bit of both.
Yeah, it's the old, feeding Ken Norton to Jerry Cooney before, like it's the old guy that has
love
a name.
You, Jerry.
Yeah, love Jerry. Right. Well, Jerry Cooney knocked out Ken Norton, right? That was his night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But the question for
Jerry
the fight
was bad when
Oh no! As competitively as does Whyte have enough punch resistance to maybe withstand some stuff early and get off one left hook with his timing? Mm-hmm. Can he find this kid just one time with his left hook? If he can, then maybe some drama unfolds. But barring that, he might get blown out. Mm-hmm. So
drop Dillian Whyte. Always hyped up the fights.
Yeah.
Dillian.
Always told us. Was Dillian or Derek the one that flipped the table?
Derek.
Okay, now I get them confused sometimes. It's just me? You do it too?
No.
Oh, okay. You got them down?
Figured it out.
Oh, you're really afraid.
I figured it. Yes. Yes.
His fight with Joshua was a good ass fight. When they fought before they were champions, or before Joshua was a champion, that was a good ass fight.
Because they fought twice, right?
I think they were supposed to fight twice, and it never happened.
Oh, okay.
Dillian would lose the setup fight that would get I think Povetkin, he was supposed to get the rematch, but then Povetkin knocked him out. He knocks Povetkin out in a rematch. Andy Ruiz.
Shout out Povetkin.
Shout out to His Excellency. Shout out to Riyadh Season.
Okay.
Shout out to Canelo Alvarez, and shout out to Terence Crawford. I'm driving past today, getting here, and they got the signs up and everything.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They're promoting this thing, and it's awesome to see boxing on such a big platform, especially going across the street.
Why is there a bull with horns in the middle? What does that got to do with anything?
It's 2 Rams, okay? It's 2 Rams,
okay.
And that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be, goddamn it. So stop looking at the.
Stop looking question I have.
Yeah,
really
but you brought up an interesting perspective last night in terms of their sparring and elite. It's a lot of eliteness going on in both camps, as expected, And go ahead.
I mean, it looks like they're getting excellent preparation from sparring. Like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, who got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. He gets Darrell Valsaint, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. good long. His arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford. And he's a young 23-year-old good athlete. And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight, and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, wow, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines for sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well in the gym. One question, though, for Crawford I have for you guys. What do you guys think of his body 6 weeks out? Does he look blown up, or does he look strong?
When we seen him, man, he looked very, very weak and not ready for the fight.
Okay, got you.
I got you, Terence.
I like that. He's all in the, the whole snack conversation and stuff like that. I don't know if you've been looking at the stuff I've been sending to you, but me and Victor have been speaking a little bit, and he's been sending me stuff. He's just
so you gotta go court.
Huh? No, I have receipts. So anything I said was a statement of fact.
I just feel like he just be laying there like, let me get Sean right, It's factual information, but just to keep it to the conversation here right now, I know that a lot of people feel like Bud got big overnight. I did hear something interesting. Remember I told you guys, man, he's been preparing for this fight for a long time. Moving up to 54, he knew that he was going to 168 and stuff like that. Interesting thing that I just was told is that this is a fight that it didn't come up until after he fought Erron, but some time it took time. I thought that he was fighting Erron, getting ready for Canelo, and it took time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, what happened was he still wasn't getting the love that he thought he deserved and was gonna receive, and he's like, all right, then I'm gonna go get Canelo Alvarez.
He said Bill Haney actually gave him the idea.
Yeah,
shout out to Bill. Yeah. So when we talk about the size, I just need everybody to understand that that's how we look when we walk around before we have to cut down to 147 pounds. So that's always been
of weight, Sean.
Yeah, it's always been.
How you do it, Sean?
I don't know. I was eating the air. That's how he always looks. You know what I mean? He's a big guy, big kid, right? So now he's basically transitioned his body, packing on the mass, hitting the weights and things like that. And interesting thing is that's always a no-no in boxing. Has historically been
Emmanuel hated it.
A no-no. We don't hit weights. We stand away from anything that push-ups. That's it.
Never look like Anthony Joshua.
Chin-ups. That's it. Yeah. And he's doing all this because he knows that one thing that everybody gonna talk about, him getting punched on the arms. He's gonna have to absorb the kind of impact, and he's smart. He's doing it all right. I love the way the body looks right now because I do understand that he's still got room.
6 weeks.
He's still got room. Yeah. Be different if he.
This was fight week.
Yeah.
Right.
Sean Porter, how less does that make Kent when you ain't really got to focus on diet too much? Can he just train and come in at 168?
The interesting thing, some fighters, I don't know about all fighters, definitely me, I'm on a scale 4 or 5 times a day.
When you was fighting?
Yeah. And there were days, depending on what we were doing in the day, would depend on what I eat. To me, in my mind, at least, and me knowing him, he just put the nutrition in front of me, and I'll take the nutrition. I don't have to worry about nutrition, but while I'm eating, how much am I putting on? You know what I mean? So it's going to take a weight off of his mind that would otherwise be there. So that's a good sign for Crawford.
Okay.
I think, when you talk about him absorbing the blows, it does remind me of Shaq. Like, Shaq would, he wrote in his book, like, Pat Riley always wanted his body fat down at a certain part, and he'd have to explain to Pat, like, Phil let me be a little heavy because I need to absorb those blows in the paint. Like this 6-pack may look good, Pat, but it hurts more when I'm banging in the paint. So Shaq would explain he did good with a little flesh on him to take the blows. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I don't know if I love the look from Crawford. Remember, the term in boxing is a blown up such and such. It looks like a blown up lightweight.
Sure.
He looks a little bit like a blown up welterweight.
But also, keep in mind. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
He just looks a little blown up.
And I hear what you're saying.
I'll because there's an image I can't get out of my head probably in that same gym, or no, that might be in Colorado, but it might be in the UFC Institute, or anyway, whatever the gym. He trains at the UFC Institute. He was training there for Spence. We had our media day, and great fighters for their biggest fights, they get this big fight cut to them. Like the 6-pack's an 8-pack for those select few assignments. Mm-hmm. And Terence, man, he was so jacked he was listening to Tupac. He had like the Machiavelli album on, and I was looking at media members like, it's over. Like he's about to cook Erron Spence.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did. I did. So,
he wouldn't believe it.
I lost all my money.
I said counterpunching, right? I was like counterpunching. And Spence is just going to give him counterpunching. Like it's a good style matchup for him. And he's getting Spence at a good time. Anyway, he was dripping so much sweat. You could see his 8-pack through his shirt. And that I was like, this dude's always in shape, but he's really in shape. Cut like a bag of dope, whatever you want to, all those terms to use it.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say in the street, Sean. But
don't show up next week.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was the jump the shark.
We both got suspended today.
We'll be at Herbrex Arena. No,
so I know
this shit isn't allowed there. I'm just playing.
So ultimately, I suspect he probably is training a little harder than Canelo. Canelo trains hard, but that's not his rep. That he's a super hard worker. I know he does the ice baths in Tahoe, and he does his thing. I mean, he doesn't look like that for no reason. I suspect Crawford's training a little harder, but at the same time, I don't know. He looks a little bit like a blown up welterweight.
He's supposed to look like a blown up heavy.
That's what he is.
No, he's not. Damn it! But you know him, like in your mind, you know him at welterweight. You saw his best night at welterweight. You saw it was a competitive fight that he had against Madrimov. It was a competitive night. But you see his best night at 147. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. I want to put things in your mind, but. Do you look at him like you're at your best? You are a welterweight, or do you look at him as at your best you're a super welterweight? At your best you're a middleweight.
Well, going back and watching the Madrimov fight, gotta give you props. You were right. He was more in control because people at first thought Sean was being biased to Terence, and when going back and watching it off his jab, he was in pretty good control of the fight, even though it was competitive throughout. But what was troubling about the Madrimov fight at 54. Is Madrimov was backing him up most of the fight. He was on the front foot. And then in Madrimov's next fight against Virgil, he's running laps for 9 rounds.
Yeah.
You could look at that as an indictment on Terrence's pop at 54. Because Madrimov he's coming at you, and he's not always an aggressive fighter. He's coming at you for a large part of the fight. Then he fights Virgil, who's not hitting like Canelo. But if we're to judge Madrimov's reactions, he's hitting harder than Bud. Because he's running laps for 9 rounds, and against Bud, he's applying pressure.
That fight with Bud, he was right. He was in range against Bud, but he was never in range to fight. He was always trying to control the range, what dictated he.
Did he have too much respect for Bud?
Yeah, I think it was too much respect for Bud.
And the jab was.
But I just gotta correct me if I'm wrong, right? So basically, to your point, he is pursuing Bud. But he's only pursuing Bud and then stepping right out of range. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm pursuing you and I'm coming after you.
Like Oscar Duarte.
So we didn't get that from Madrimov. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that Virgil Ortiz super welterweight punch is, especially heavy.
Get Madrimov on and ask him.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who punches harder?
Honestly, even including you, Sean, no one actually attacks Bud like that.
Yeah.
No one actually goes after you. See what happens when you go after it. Yeah. You get counterpunched to death. That's always been, that's what people game plan versus him.
That's why if you are a Crawford camp, you gotta like this fight because you know that you definitely have somebody who's gonna fight in your rhythm. and you're in the flow that your current runs in, you know? His current is I'm out, I'm in, you know what I mean? He likes somebody coming after him. This is what he's done his whole life. He's had to turn it on to go after guys, including me, goddamn. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So, you know, this fight in a lot of ways early on could be a very interesting fight because it's one that like works in the rhythm of both guys because this is what Canelo does and what he likes to do. And I'm okay if I'm only getting elbows, and I'm okay if I'm swinging and I'm missing because I'm going to catch up to you eventually, you know? Bud is not going to move so far out of the way that he can't do it, you know? Also, I'm going to say, I don't want to say more because I think I know a little bit more about, you know.
Chill out.
Yeah.
We're trying to win this fucking fight.
Like, and said he looked like shit.
Yeah, seeing Terence Crawford, man, was at camp, looks like shit, so.
You know, we were talking about what we're going to talk about today, and I just kind of was like, what the hell is going on with Tank? And I know that, you know, he's been announcing retirements and stuff like that. So kind of wanted like to hear what y'all have heard or seen, because I haven't really seen or heard much.
I don't know. I get Tank fans hit me up. What Tank doing? I'm like, I don't know. You understand, if he retires, boxing's done. Tank is not bigger than the sport of boxing. All respect to Tank. You came here, you set the tone, you brought new energy to the sport. But the sport will outlive you, believe it or not, young man. Will outlive all of us.
The interesting thing, because he was like really firing it up, lighting it up, but inconsistently doing it, you know. And it was like we got to continue.
But every time he showed up, it was a moment.
Yeah. And it's gonna be a moment when he shows up again, because he's gonna show up again, y'all. Just chill out. What have you seen?
I think what's disappointing is in the Frank Martin fight, I saw something. The way, even though he wasn't throwing a lot of punches the first 2 or 3 rounds, the way he high guarded it and cut distance from round 1, as opposed to languishing a little bit, taking his time, I was like, that's maturity, that's growth. Like, okay, now I'm actually getting excited about Gervonta, who I've always known is a great talent.
You saw an actual game plan from the kid, not just a power
and a sense of urgency,
in
a willingness. Like, I'm not worried about what's coming back.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah,
and so that was growth, and I was like, okay, you know, he might be ready to make his move now that everybody's been wanting and waiting for and everything. And then no, it turns out he's kind of gets fortunate to get a draw with Roach, and then in the post fight, he's kind of ho hum. And I was disappointed in Brooklyn that I didn't sense that embarrassment, that anger, that I want it back, and this isn't who I am, and I gotta forget all you people. I'm mad. Like, I want to whip his ass because God damn it, I'm Gervonta and he's Lamont Roach, and it's not supposed to go like that.
That came like a day later, right?
Never
like
came.
A week. He sent out a couple tweets.
It never came.
It was a couple, but it wasn't enough energy for Sean.
No.
Sean didn't get an interview. Sean don't believe in tweets. Sean
was hype. He came up here like, yo, we about to get Tank back in June. We about to get Tank back in April.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna come back, but yeah, I see where Sean coming from. It's just like you never demanded like show like the
and you can snap your fingers and make it happen.
The greats want to be nah, hell no, he's not on my level.
Right.
Floyd with
Castillo and Maidana.
And, but he was just it just messes up my plans. Now I got to fight. What you said, 3 or 4 times, I think.
Right.
That was just That was just.
And woe is me. Boxing's full of shit.
And I think the kid is. I don't know if he's upset with the way boxing, the sport of boxing, the business side that has control of him. I think it's more of that than anything.
That's what I think. I think
it's a little cop-out-ish.
I think he's mentally and emotionally fatigued from the sport. Obviously, we see the other personal stuff going on. I never really like to get into that. Right. For me, it's just how much time is this going to take away from the gym? How much time is this going to take away from, a fight night? I think he's got a lot going on. And I think that when it comes to Tank coming back, the boxing world, the business of boxing, they got to do something to appease him. He's gonna come back.
Haven't they appeased him enough? Is that the problem? Have they appeased him too much?
I mean, what does this do?
Because I have said that he's spoiled. Yeah, I have said that.
What does this do with the Prime deal with PBC? You're the main topic of this fucking deal.
Oh yeah, I mean he's.
I
mean, him and Benavidez are like the last 2 franchise players, and Benavidez is fighting Yard, and Now Tank can't make it to rematch date. It was going to be in June. It was going to be in August.
Yeah.
And out of the ring stuff keeps pushing it back. And he doesn't seem to lead us on that he particularly cares about the rematch that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
BBC, go sign Shakira Stevenson. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
I think it comes a time where you got to take time away from everything. Not just boxing.
He took a year off at one time, didn't he?
But you took time off of boxing, but you're still moving around and people are seeing Tank Davis. And when I say take time off, I mean like really seclude yourself, go to Italy, go somewhere where people aren't always noticing you and wanting things from you. Go to an island where, you've got, and I've done this myself, where you are, at a resort or something like that, where you wake up and you don't have to go anywhere to get anything. It's all right there for you, and really just cool out.
Or just stay around your people that really love you.
Yeah.
You got family and friends that you're like, yeah, that's my guy.
But
That's
when you wake up to the same atmosphere mentally, even though, I'm turning this off and I'm turning off the phone and I'm not talking to those guys and all that kind of stuff, still waking up in the same atmosphere psychologically is going to keep you in the same mindset. You have to change the surroundings. You got to change what your eyes are seeing. You got to change the wind that your ears hear. Like, it's really that specific. When you're someone like this that has so much going on, the only way you truly turn it all off is by like really getting away from it all.
Or therapy.
Yeah.
Except therapy.
Yeah.
Because some people are not fortunate enough to get up and go to Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I found my peace at home. I tell people all the time, my home is my peaceful spot. And I don't bring bullshit. Y'all know I don't bring bullshit
Just
to
go
my
to
house.
the bathroom, right? And
No,
you just
just
sit in the bathroom and sit in the bathroom while watching comedy.
I was in the bathroom for 2 hours, 2.5 hours the other night. From 3 a.m. It was 5:30.
And be like, I can't feel my foot.
Yeah, that happens.
Well, yeah. Sure. But hopefully Tank get it right, man, and he actually ends on a high note. Do we get Tank back in 2025?
That's a good question.
Tank
I'm leaning
Davis.
towards no, but I'm not. It's not a hard no,
Yeah.
but I'm leaning towards no.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Sean?
He's leaning towards no. I'm leaning towards yes.
It's a lean.
It's a maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We get him back. We get him back
In
this year.
2025?
We get him back this year.
Okay.
He'll figure it out. He'll get it together.
Should Lamont Roach try to go down a different route?
If there's
Or
good
do you
money
sit
out
there-
there,
do you
but if
sit
there's
there and
not,
wait?
you might just want to wait.
there and wait.
He was peaking when he had this
That's
fight.
true.
with-
You
with-
want, you don't want
Damn.
to. Yeah.
Can't lose. the
Damn,
peak.
yeah, that
He was
momentum.
peaking.
So
Yeah.
even pro box it, if anything, just to
Yeah.
stay, just to
But
keep
then
it sharp.
one
Yeah.
moment could take everything away.
So then pro box it against a Fear Girl McCory. You
They
know,
better match this thing up right. Better do some dynamite
Find
matchmaking.
someone ready to play their part. Yeah.
Shout out to Timothy Bradley. I know it's a lot of people that watch his stuff.
Let's get him on.
But then there's
My brother.
also I know I'm like, hey, I gotta get him in here. I can't have Timothy Bradley on Zoom.
Why not?
Yeah, we gotta have him in.
It's
Yes.
He's always
possible.
like this. It's Timothy Bradley, everybody.
Trust me,
No, you're right.
he got a lot going on,
Yeah.
family. I'm trying to like really just rope him up in here. I can't have Timothy Bradley on Zoom. That's just too much. It's too much. He got to be in here. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. But the reason why I bring this up is because I know that a lot of people will see some of the stuff that he says and does and think he's extreme with it. My man does have an extreme mind. He also has a very educated and realistic mind as well. I don't agree with what he said. I don't agree with what you said, Tim. But I get where it's coming from.
In regards to what? What'd he say?
Tank is done. Tank is done. And I'm like,
You sound
He also
like
called him a Hall of Famer the
I'm
other
like,
day.
huh?
He also called him a Hall of Famer the other day.
Yeah, Tank is done. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Damn, Tim. And I'm like, I know it's people that's gonna see this and they're gonna immediately be turned off because they don't understand you. So keep turning his stuff on because the dude is the bomb. He legit all the way straight up and down. I want to get him in here, but I just wanted to make sure, like, I wanted, while we was talking about this, let y'all know, like, he's not a Tank hater, okay? This is his realism.
The truth teller.
And this is his realism, and it's actually a truth, which leads me into the motivational message. But go ahead.
No, if I'm a boxing company, one of the bigger names. I know Chantel don't do business with everybody. I'm hiring Sean Porter, Tim Bradley, Sean Zartel.
It's funny because my two OGs, my two mentors when it comes to fighters are Sean and Tim. So I always feel in good hands. Like I could call you guys and know anything. And
I'll bring Matt on as an intern.
And I'm gonna say this too, right?
Matt, yeah. Matt.
And I just want to share this.
I was like, which Matt?
I want to share this idea because shout out to JoJo Diaz. Mm-hmm. We know that he's gone through some mental struggles and actually ended up, getting himself some serious help.
Getting it right.
How do you say he was in rehab and things of that nature? As I know it to be, that was his doing, possibly his family's doing. Why isn't that the promoter's doing? Why isn't that the manager's doing? Why isn't that the advisor's doing? This is your
asset.
Thank you. This is your asset. How do you protect your asset by making sure your asset can be the best? That's the only way you protect your asset. I'm gonna spend this $100,000 right now and find out if you're worth me spending $500,000. And as long as you win this fight, I'll keep going with you. That's your way of protecting your asset. But when your asset needs some help, you're not directing your asset. You're not supporting your asset. I don't know how these guys do it. I don't know if they're reaching out to him. Hey, how you doing? Is everything okay? And so on and so forth. But this is what I want to put out there. If you got a Tank Davis and you can see that Tank Davis is struggling with some things, why wouldn't you sit down and have a true man-to-man, man-to-woman conversation with him and say, hey, have you observed this? Have you considered that? Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. It's preventing you from being your best, and it's preventing you from supporting your family, and it's preventing you from becoming the Hall of Famer and all this and that. Why are we the ones asking what's going on and nobody can say, hey, this is what's going on with him and this is what we're doing for him and, he'll be back momentarily. We should have a realistic answer to whether or not he'll be back in 2025. And it shouldn't have to come from Tank in order for us to know that. He's got enough people around him dealing with him from a business standpoint. Y'all should be helping this young man so that y'all can provide answers to the boxing world that think if he don't come back, that the boxing world gonna crumble. So
next week, Leonard Ellaby will be sitting on his couch.
All right, yeah, we got Leonard next week.
Or he'll be on Zartel.
Do we?
Well, he's always willing to come on.
He said, do we?
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to say.
Yeah, he can answer some of the questions.
For sure.
At some point, though, it has to be on the man himself, right? I don't take joy in saying this. I haven't accomplished the things Gervonta. I don't mean to be on my soapbox so bad, but at some point, and enablers are a real thing, and there's a chance the people around you are afraid to be honest with you because you might push them out if you don't like what you hear. And go work with other people, So they gotta work. That's what turns people into enablers. They're worried about the spigot getting cut off.
Yes, man.
But at some point, it's on Gervonta. I'm sure his upbringing was very tough. And he saw a lot of fucked up shit, to put it in blunt terms. But at 30 years old, at some point, it's on you. And it could be difficult to break certain cycles and to overcome certain things, but best of luck doing that.
67 minutes. We out of here after the motivational message.
Prayers for Gervonta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the motivational message for today is you can't argue with the truth. And it's interesting. I'm gonna use my sons as an example. Shaddai is my oldest. He has his Legos. His 5-year-old brother, Adonai, tells him it's ours. Diggy says, no, it's mine. And they go back and forth. It's ours, it's mine. And it starts to get louder and louder. And I just stopped. I said, Shaddai, stop. I said, Diggy, are those yours? He says, yes. I said, that's the truth, right? He says, yes. I said, well, if you know that's the truth, why are you sitting here arguing with your brother? He says, yeah, because he's saying this. I said, but Dig, it don't matter. I said, and guess what? What don't we do? We don't argue with babies. And that's my point to y'all. You don't argue with babies. If someone's immature enough to argue with you, they're not being an adult about the situation. Once truth has been told and exposed, you can't argue with the truth. Stop arguing with people, y'all. Like Ant always say, stop trying to prove yourself. You ain't got to prove yourself to nobody. Let your truth go before you. This is the PorterWay.
Stay blessed.